A pleasant day to each and everyone. My name is Mariela Forapuda, and today I'm going to be performing as well as tackling a bit of a background regarding the APGAR score test of a newborn baby. So, in essence, the APGAR score test is developed by an American physician named Dr. Virginia Apgar in the year 1952, over 68 years ago. This method is used by doctors and nurses all over the world as the quickest way to better assess the overall well-being of a newborn baby and the need for resuscitation. Not only that, it has become a standard part of labor and delivery process of the baby and is known to be the baby's very first test. Now, the main purpose of this test is to assess the baby's vital signs quickly and to always remember that the score or the result of this test is very helpful for later evaluations. Here we are in the baby's crib, and after checking the baby's identification and gestational age, comes the checking of the APGAR score test of the infant. Now, this test is given 1 minute after birth and 5 minutes after birth. Now, it consists of 5 categories or 5 ranks that the nurse must assess or consider, as well as assign a value of 0, 1, and 2. Take note that the APGAR is a mnemonic that stands for the appearance, pulse, grimace, activity, and respiration of the baby. Next, the sum of the scores of the 5 criterion of the APGAR score equals the total APGAR score of the infant. If the score ranges from 0 to 10, that is the appropriate range of the APGAR score test. If the baby appears to have a lower score of the APGAR, that is most likely that the baby requires resuscitation. So now we're first going to check the appearance or the skin color of the baby. We're going to check if the skin color is blue or pale, and if so, we go with that a score of 0. If the baby's skin color is pink body, cross cyanosis, or blue extremities, we give that a score of 1. The baby's skin color is pink, we give that a score of 2, which is normal. Next, we're going to check the pulse or the heart rate of the infant. So in doing so, we're going to place our 2 fingers between the shoulder or the arm or the elbow of the infant, which is right over here. We're going to feel for the heart rate. So if the heart rate is absent, we give that a score of 0. If the heart rate is below 100 beats per minute, we give that a score of 1. If the heart rate is over 100 beats per minute, give that a 2. So earlier, the baby's skin color was pink, so you can see it's a normal skin color. And now for the pulse, we have over 100 beats per minute, which is the normal heart rate of the infant. Give that a 2. Next, we are going to check for the grimace or the reflex irritability of the infant. So if the baby appears floppy or no response to stimulation, you give that a score of 0. If the baby has minimal response to stimulation or has a weak cry, we give that a score of 1. If the baby has prompt response to stimulation or cries when stimulated, then we give that a score of 2. So our baby here is crying, and I'm going to give that a score of 2. Next, we are going to check for the activity or the muscle tone of the infant. So if the infant appears to have or does not have any limbs or is flaccid or limpy, then we give that a score of 0. Then if the baby is flexed arms and legs or has some flexion on it, we give it a score of 1. And if the baby appears to be active, has well flexed and represents extension, we are resisting extension, then we give that a score of 2. And lastly, for the respiration, I'm going to check first if there's any nose flaring, which is really dangerous to the baby. It is when the nose is widening, like so. So I think the baby does not have any nose flaring at all. So now I'm going to check the respiratory or the respiration of the infant. which is if it is one rise and one fall, it is one breath. So if it is absent, then we give it a score of 0. Then if it is slow and irregular, we give that a score of 1. Then lastly, we give it a score of 2 if it is a vigorous cry. So our infant here appears to cry a lot, so this is a score of 2. So what I have observed here on my infant, which is baby Felicia May Santos, she appears to be very active and does not have any signs of any problems, and that would be all. Moreover, to fully analyze the result of the APGAR score test of an infant, a result of 10 out of 10 is considered a perfect score of this test, which is the same as my client, baby Felicia. Next, the higher the score, the better the condition. Also, a score over 7 indicates a good condition. Meanwhile, a score of 10 is unusual, and lastly, a score less than 7 indicates that the baby may need medical assistance. And that concludes my video demonstration regarding the APGAR scoring test of a newborn baby. Hope you guys had fun and learned a lot as much as I did, and I hope to see you again really, really soon. Bye!